About being raw, quote, an explosion of self-expression, Larry the artist. Being raw does not mean being unrehearsed. That raw energy comes from knowing the music well enough, knowing it so well, that you don't have to think about it, that you can just let it fly. That is what I teach. I don't train button pushers. I train musicians. That includes singers. Playing the right notes is not enough, not for any artist. They must play expressively. And there are specifics written by the composers. And they must get it so well that it sounds natural and not forced, and nothing else will do. Really, nothing but their best effort will do, but that's what we're going for. Not knowing their entrances, being hesitant, unsure of themselves, is not conducive towards an explosion of self-expression. Secondly, Rent, the rock opera, is not Larry's creation, as he claims. It's the creation of a man named Jonathan Larson, based on Puccini's opera La Bohème. The medium he chose for his creation, for his self-expression, was a rock opera, music all the way through. I was not imposing my musical values on Larry's non-musical play. It is the job of any director and all involved to do their part, to do their best, to preserve the integrity of the work they are presenting. More about the difference between musical and non-musical theater. Are you aware that musical theater is a separate major in college from acting or theater without the musical? I worked with someone recently who double majored in both. It's very educational. She did both because there was no musical training in the acting program and so little acting in the musical theater program. Musical theater majors have to take acting 1, 2, and 3. That's it. That's the extent of their training in acting. The people who major in musical theater are primarily singers or dancers, not actors. If an actor who's primarily an actor also has an interest in music, he can take some music lessons as an elective, but he's going to be an acting major or a theater major, not musical theater. Now, people in musical theater, their focus is on the musical scenes and the musical productions. The directors may be musical theater people, but ideally, as musical theater people are basically jacks of three trades, you would have the specialists. You'd have the Larry Goldsteins directing the non-musical rehearsals, a musician directing the musical rehearsals, and a dancer, choreographer, directing the dance rehearsals. Larry thinks that acting is the only art form dedicated to self-expression. Every now and then, in musical rehearsals, we will spot what is known in the world of musical theater as a problem theater person, or a ridiculous thespian clown. These people have an attitude that says, "You're not important, you're a musician and music's not important. I am important, for I am a theater person." They don't get it. They don't understand that we don't care that they are a theater person. We have work to do. Right now, you're in a musical rehearsal. Go be a theater person in your non-musical rehearsals, and most likely in the rest of your life. Right now, we need you to work on the music. These clowns don't get it. that they are there to serve the music. They think the music is there to serve them. They think the accompanist is their slave. Their accompanist is their biggest ally. We know they're just theater people, not singers or even musical theater people. That's fine. We're not going to judge them. We'll help them. If they can't find their note, we'll make a note of it and give it to them, even if it's not in our part, in our score. If they don't know their entrances, we'll help them. Give them extra cues, whatever it takes. We are there to help them. But if they go into it with this attitude of, who cares about music? I am a theater person, then we can't help them. And I've never seen one get hired back. This really isn't about the money, Mr. As I've said. I would appreciate payment in total of no less than $510 for the hours I worked. I will need you to retract your statement and have your records show from now on that I did not breach contract and that Mr. Goldstein has multiple times and has now defamed me yet again. And if you think I should not be paid the full $1,000, I would appreciate an explanation more thorough than our records show. When I delivered the invoice to Mr. Perkinson the Monday of the week of the show, I made it clear that it was for the entire show, that I still wanted to do the show, but that I needed him to do something about a very serious problem. That I needed him to do his job. I know his daughter's playing volleyball, but this won't take long. I need you to do your job and tell Larry to do his job, which right now is to step aside. Yes, that's right. Give up his precious spotlight and let me do my job. Mr. Perkinson said he'd be happy to drop off the invoice. I made it clear that there would be a dispute about it. I was not trying to slide one past Larry. Please keep in mind, I would have dropped it if I had just gotten paid for my hours. If Larry hadn't gloatingly taken more than half of that, really thinking he could get away with it. And I would have accepted the other $250 you offered, Mr. Erb, minus 10 even, not even all my hours. But I cannot have your school's records show what you are saying that they show. We need to set the record straight. Secondly, please keep in mind this, all of this, was all over $20. 1 hour. That I had offered hundreds and hundreds, probably around at least 3, maybe even more than $600 of my time doing the stuff that's supposed to be happening in your rehearsals to make up for that. That's what brought on this email. It says, perhaps we should have discussed what it meant to be an accompanist, but I think it's best you get it flat now, and all those breaches of contract and nonsense. It ends with, please tell me if this is too much for you. If you can't do the job, please let me know immediately so I won't be more stuck than if you left at the last minute. And he's the one who breached contract before. And it was $20 1 hour that our contract stated I didn't need to make up. This confusion being the direct result of Larry being such an obviously dishonest and unethical businessman.